Subscribe now. EU debates.
No, as you say, Eric, I mean, this is something where the Commission has been building its infrastructure, building its resilience over the course of many years. We have the Connecting Europe facility, which financially supports projects of common European interest in the field of energy. We are now in a situation where no member state is left with one single source of gas supply. So every member state has some kind of diversity in terms of receiving gas from different sources. We've invested in reverse flows of gas along pipelines going in all directions of the compass across Europe. We've invested in LNG terminals, which means that gas can be imported from other sources beyond the pipelines that we have available to us. So this is the system which allows us, in a situation such as the one that we are in now, to offer solidarity between member states, to help our neighbours and those that we're connected to, and to make sure that gas flows from where it's stored, perhaps to where it's most needed. And that's really we've built the structure, the infrastructure, which allows us to have these kind of proposals based on solidarity, based on a common European response, and not having member states left on their own trying to face an interruption of supply.
And thank you very much, Tim. And I would add something. None of us should make the mistake of believing that there's only one member state which is concerned by dependence on Russian gas. It's always the same country that's being mentioned in the media. But look at gas imports from Russia to Europe, and there are many more member states importing gas from Russia than just that one. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, Lukács, as I said before, we should all be very conscious of the fact that what might start as an issue in the field of energy will very quickly become an issue in economic terms. And I don't think that anybody has an interest in the European economy having to face the global consequences of significant difficulties in one of its biggest economies, since you are mentioning Germany, or in other economies for that matter. Let me remind you that we derive our common prosperity from the fact that we have built a single market that has integrated the industrial production of member states, that trade between member states is an extremely important factor in their economic activity, intra-EU trade, and therefore we are best served. It's not just a question of solidarity with the countries that might face the energy crisis per se. It's solidarity for all member states in economic terms in order to face the economic consequences of a potential energy crisis. And that, I think, is something really to keep in mind.